Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. It is 10 o'clock. I am Tim Harris. It is time for 10 with Tim. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being with me. I appreciate your friendship, your partnership in the Word, all the ways in which you encourage me, all the ways in which you made me better. Thank you so much. Doing this with you every day now for these years, verse by verse, has, I think, just grown me so much in the Word, and probably more than 4 years of seminary. And I thank you all for that so much. Thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you for your commitment. It's sure been good for me. It continues to be good for me. Today we're in chapter 24 of Numbers. We're finishing up the story of Balaam. I love this. This ending of this story is just so fantastic. When we start with Balaam beating his donkey in the street, you just don't imagine how this story is going to end. You just don't imagine what a glorious ending this story will have. And this is a glorious ending. In chapter 24, verses 1 to 25, it's Balaam's final oracle. All right, if you remember yesterday, we got to the end of chapter 23. One more time, Balak takes him up to the top of another mountain where he can look from another direction and see if maybe God will this time let him, say something ugly about Israel. So one more time, they build 7 altars, 7 bulls, 7 rams to sacrifice. But chapter 24 begins. By now, Balaam realizes that the Lord is determined to bless Israel. So he didn't resort to divination as before. In other words, whether it's reluctant or not, Balaam just submits. He just submits to God's will. He just submits to God's intention to bless Israel. He's no longer trying to manipulate the situation. He's no longer in any way trying to, work some magic. He is just simply going to surrender. And the most amazing thing in the world, this false prophet is about to bring some real prophecy. It's just stunning. So he goes out, he sees the people of Israel camped. Again, that's kind of the theme. He's just looking out over them, and the Spirit of God comes upon him. So in the past, God's been speaking more to Balaam, but this time he's going to speak through him. And honestly, this is one of the most beautiful oracles in all of Scripture. It's just so beautiful. Now, notice that now the Spirit of God speaking through him, there's like a prophetic formula. You know what I mean? It's like the verses that begin the oracles here, this third oracle and then the fourth oracle, which is amazing. They begin the same way. This is the message of Balaam, son of Beor, the message of the man whose eyes see clearly, the message of one who hears the words of God, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who bows down with eyes wide open. Both of these oracles now coming, from the Spirit begin with the same kind of formula. It's a very Hebraic formula, which, as I say, it signals to us that this false prophet is now, taken over by the Spirit, and he's going to bring real prophecy. Absolutely. It's as if he's just sort of drawn into the role of a true prophet. Now, again, I say it's just a strange, reluctant kind of obedience or submission. But, whether he's dragged into it or not, he speaks for God, and he just brings this beautiful, beautiful blessing. How beautiful are your tents, O Jacob. How lovely are your homes, O Israel. They spread before me like palm groves. The verses 3 through 9. Just notice how this third oracle just pictures Israel as this beautiful, well-watered garden. It sounds like the Garden of Eden. And then also a lion that crouches and pounces against its enemies. Blessed is everyone who blesses you, O Israel, and cursed is everyone who curses you. I mean, it's the ultimate blessing. It's just so beautiful. What I find striking here is that, again, he's looking over Israel in the wilderness. They've been wandering in the wilderness for 4 decades. They are homeless. They're in the wilderness. These beautiful tents, are rags that have been, carted around all over the, desert for 40 years, But when Balaam looks out and sees Israel, he sees Israel as this well-watered garden. it's just this beautiful picture of how Israel, even through all their disobedience, through all of their punishment, through all their wanderings in the wilderness, they remain in the desert, God's well-watered garden. And I think it's just so beautiful. I love that. Sometimes in the wilderness moments of my life, it is good to remember that still I am like a well-watered garden, drinking from streams in the desert, that God it continues to bless and favor me. And I just love that. I think it's beautiful. Now, at this point, Balak loses his mind. I paid perfectly good money for a curse, and you just keep blessing them. I called you to curse my enemies. And instead, you blessed them 3 times. You blessed them 3 times. Now get out of here. Go back where you came from. I promised to reward you richly, but the Lord has kept you from your reward. I'm not even paying you now. Not even going to pay you. Get out of my face. Balaam just says, I told you, I told you that no matter what you give me, I cannot say what God's not going to let me say. So let me just, while I'm giving it to you, and since I'm no longer on your payroll, just let me tell you what God says. And then here comes oracle number 4, which nobody asked for. Balak's not paying for this one. So this one's for free. And oh my goodness, once more, the same formula. This is the message of Balaam, son of Beor, the message of the man whose eyes see clearly, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who bows down with eyes wide open. Oh my goodness, and here it comes. I see him, but not here and now. I perceive him far in the future. A star will rise from Jacob. What? Yes. Balaam is talking about Jesus. Balaam sees Jesus. I mean, it's like, what? That's crazy. Balaam brings a prophecy of Jesus. One of the most beautiful messianic prophecies in the Old Testament comes out of this man's mouth, Oh my goodness. Remember how I said, like in the beginning, that donkey that's talking is a picture of Balaam? Absolutely, man. This dumb donkey here is now, eyes wide open, talking about Jesus. He's giving a prophecy of Jesus. A star will rise from Jacob. A scepter will emerge from Israel. It's like a coming king, right? Oh my goodness. I mean, did you see that coming? And Balak, poor Balak, he's like, I'm not paying you. And Balaam says, all right, well, this one's free. And he gives him a prophecy about Jesus. Oh my goodness. And then notice at the end of this, is going to crush the heads of Moab's people. Well, that's Balak, y'all. Balak paid for a blessing, for a curse against his enemies and a blessing for himself. But what he gets is the opposite. It's this radical inversion here. And Balaam gives a blessing to Balak's enemies and now a curse on Moab. They're going to crush your heads. They're going to crack your skulls. And then he just keeps on going. All right, so that's number 4. You didn't pay for this one, but I'm giving you this one. And while I'm at it, Balaam's going to give 5, 6, and 7. Balaam's going to throw in like 3 other just rapid fire, prophecies, rapid fire curses against Amalek, against the Kenites, and then finally Asher and Kittim probably got the Assyrians or maybe even some sort of Greek maritime forces here. But that last one there, verse 23, is just this picture of just this global upheaval that is going to come because Israel is on the move and God is blessing them, and you cannot curse what God has blessed. And so there you go. I didn't think Balaam was going to come through like that, but my goodness. Maybe Balak should have fired him, earlier, because man, once he's cut loose, he cuts loose and he speaks for God. He speaks truth for God. But don't get all excited because chapter 25 will pick up here tomorrow. Remember how I said, and I'll say it again tomorrow. Remember how I said that the Bible doesn't really believe in curses. Instead, when God speaks of curses, he says, I set before you a blessing and a curse. You choose this day, which one you want to live under, the blessing or the curse. So after all this, you think Israel is curse proof, but it turns out there's a loophole, and we'll pick up there tomorrow. This story ends wonderfully until it doesn't. And that's where we'll pick up. Chapter 25 tomorrow, verses 1 to 18. That'll be our scripture. So read ahead, and I will see you in the morning, Lord willing, 10 o'clock for 10 with Tim. Have a great Tuesday. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.